Hi, I just found out my friend's gonna be a father, and that just hit me hard. It's crazy to think about that. Like, 3 years ago, I was with that same friend at the beach, building sandcastles and running through the sand, trying not to burn our feet, and betting who was the first to get in the water. And now he's gonna be a father. It's one of those things that I feel like you never actually expect to happen until it actually does. I'm glad it's not me because I could never go through something like that right now. But I feel like he's pretty happy about it, so that's amazing. I'm pretty sure he's gonna be an amazing father, just like he's an amazing friend. But I'm still speechless, man. As soon as I got that news, I just couldn't speak. It wasn't him that told me at first, it was another friend that we both have in common. And I just said, are you serious? And he said, yes. And I just hanged up the phone and stared at it for like 2 minutes straight. Then I just opened my Photos app, scrolled, and stared at a picture of us at the beach for another 10 minutes. And receiving this news just made me stop. Like, my life actually stopped in the way that it's like somebody came up to me and started shaking me. Like, somebody came up to me and slapped me in the face. And everything just stops. It's like when you're living on autopilot and then everything just starts slowing down and you start looking around, gaining consciousness, and then everything just stops and you see yourself surrounded by a frozen world, no movement, just you and your mind and reflections and realizations. After finding about that, I found out about it like a week ago. My life, I just can't stop thinking about it. Like, it's not one of those news where somebody tells it to you and then you keep remembering during the day or the day after, and then you just forget and you go back to your normal life. I'm pretty sure that's gonna happen at some point, but for the past week, I haven't been able to live my life properly without having that on my mind 24/7, and it's actually hurting me a lot. I'm not in pain because I feel bad for him or anything. I wish him the best, and of course, I have told him that already. I've messaged him, and again, I think he's pretty happy with the news. It's the realization that time is passing, man. And that honestly scares me a little bit. Like, those 3 years just went by in a click. It's scary. It, it's actually pretty scary, man. Like, it just went by like nothing. I'm 18 years old now, almost 19. And 3 years ago, I was 15 with that same motherfucker running at the beach. You know, talking about being with this girl or being with that girl or finding this girl attractive or that girl attractive. Like, we were still discovering what being a teenager looks like, you know? Watching the sunset together and saying, yo, I'd really like to kiss that girl, or yo, man, I think Stacy or Brittany. I'm just coming up with random names, of course, but you get the point. Talking about those types of things, man, I remember going out with him one day to grab some food and then watch the sunset on a nice spot we both knew. And when we were there, we started like talking about the future. And I asked him, man, what are you gonna do like when you're older? And he's like, man, I don't know. Shut up with that shit. I just wanna eat this burger. And when I get home, we're gonna play some Minecraft. And I was like, yeah, you're right, man. we're still so young, we have so much time. And he was like, so much time, man? We have more than that. We have all the time. So chill. And yeah, I chilled. We ate that burger, Burger King, by the way, and we watched the sunset. We went back home and we played Minecraft all night. And just like that, 3 years went by, and now he's gonna be a father. The idea of being a father for me, it's just I look at it as like the pinnacle of life. What I mean by this is it's probably the biggest responsibility you'll ever have in your life. You're creating another human being. You know, you are the cause of another human being in this world, alive. We're talking about a person, right? Someone who has feelings, someone who will suffer, someone who will feel joy, love, all the pleasures of life, I hope. You know, uh, Food, traveling, friends, sex. You're creating all that. Like, you're creating life. And it's such a big deal for me to imagine that, you know, if you ask me right now, I feel 0% prepared. Like, if that happened to me, I don't know how I would react. I would have to find my way to deal with it. And of course, to be the best possible father for my kid. But even talking about it feels so weird and so scary. Another thing that scares me is just like these 3 years went by. 3 years ago, I was with this guy at the beach, running and screaming and building castles and playing football. And now he's a father, and these 3 years just went by so quickly. I feel scared that from this moment that I'm in right now to 10 years from here, that time also passes like nothing. And I fear that 10 years from now, I will also look back at this time, when I was 18, and feel like time just went by. That sensation is just so agonizing because you can't do anything about it. Like, you're completely powerless against time. You know, Time is the ultimate player. It beats all of us and it never stops. It just keeps passing and you just gotta tug it out, I guess, right? You know, I've thought about this a lot, as you already probably guessed. As I said, I've been thinking about this for this past week nonstop. And I think I'm looking at it on a really negative way, and that there are more positive ways to look at it. So instead of fearing the possibility of in 10 years, I look back and have the same feeling of time just disappearing, I think I have to be excited about this new stage of my friend's life. He's gonna be a father. Like, that's simply, it's even saying this out loud, like, my friend is gonna be a father. He's gonna have a kid. It's just so, it's just crazy. Like, it even makes me want to cry. Okay? It's just, as you can see, I'm out of words. I can't speak. No adjectives can describe the sensation, right? I feel old. I know I'm still young. I'm 18 years old. If any old people hear me say that I feel old, they're gonna interrupt me immediately and say that I'm not, and I know I'm not. But it's weird, man. My friend is gonna be a father. I can't I can't think of that, but it's real. It's gonna happen. You know, the times I spent with that guy, which I'm not gonna say the name, of course, but the times I've spent with him were amazing ones. Like, he made a really big role in my life. And it's like on your day to day life, you never stop to think about those moments that you've had with people that matter to you. And it's only when something big happens, like when somebody dies, or when somebody is going like to change countries or be a father, like in this case, it's only then, on those situations, that you actually stop for a moment and remember the good memories that you've had with that person and how great of a person or and how important of a role they've had in your life. And yeah, if there is something I could say to whoever is watching this video is try to make that more often. Don't let it just for the big moments, you know. Try to remember the good moments that you've had with people that matter to you more often. Try to remember those gaming nights with your best friend or those sleepovers with your best friend. Try to remember those sunsets that you've watched with your girlfriend or with your best friend as well. You know, try to remember the great moments you've had with your parents, with your grandparents, like your granny. You know, me personally, I love my grandma. She's probably one of the most important people in my life, if not the most. You know, it's very personal, but she is probably the person that I love the most in my life. Fortunately, she is still alive, and I can't even think about a scenario where she's not. And I'm not gonna get into it in this video because if I do, I'm actually gonna cry. It's not the goal, it's not the point. I I don't wanna go there. But what I'm trying to say is stop to think about how the people that you have in your life matter to you. Don't leave it just for when they're not around anymore or when something big happens. You know, in the end, it all connects to Minecraft because Minecraft is such a special game to me, not only because I actually like the game itself, but because I think I've played Minecraft with almost all the important people that have passed through my life. And I'm talking about people that are still here with me and people that are not. But still, when I remember these people, like for example, my first love, which is topic for another video maybe, it always gets to Minecraft. I've played Minecraft with all those people and you know, it's like the game just reunites all of these memories and then it just makes it more special. And yeah, well, this is probably my third video on this channel. The channel is very new. And since I'm starting this project, who knows if I don't talk about more stories that will happen in the future uh, about this topic of my friend being a father. Because, you know, in the next years, I expect a lot of funny things to happen. You know, I don't know. I just expect it to be an adventure. And if any story emerges on that spectrum that is pertinent for me to talk about here, I might. Who knows? This is just a place for me to yap about whatever it's in my mind. And I actually didn't know what to talk about today. It wasn't one of those days where I just sit on the PC and have my mind stuffed. Today I actually didn't know what to yap about, but I wanted to post a video. So I just started reflecting on what has been on my mind. lately. And of course, I just couldn't not speak about this. It's probably the biggest thing that has happened to me this week, receiving this news. And yeah, I'm still getting through it. I'm still trying to accept it, I guess, trying to understand that it's real and that it's gonna happen. And yeah, in the end of the day, it's a new chapter for my friend's life, and in a small way for my life as well. The hangouts and the sleepovers are probably gonna decrease, which is unfortunate. You know, now he's a father. He probably doesn't have time for that anymore. Well, he's not a father yet, but he will be, right? So he's not gonna have time for that anymore, maybe. Maybe not. But I will always be there for him if he needs anything. And and yeah, I think that's all I have for today. Stay safe and stay happy. I love you all.